Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be reviewing God of War Ragnarok. Oh my god, I'm so excited to review this for you guys, but just a warning, there are massive spoilers. I'm talking from start of the game all the way to the finish, so stick around and let's just get right into this. I'm so excited. God of War Ragnarok is an action-adventure game developed by Santa Monica Studios and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It was released worldwide on November 9th, 2022 for the PS4 and PS5, marking the first cross-gen release in the God of War series. It is the 9th installment in this series, the 9th chronologically, and the sequel to 2018's God of War. The gameplay is similar to the previous installment, God of War 4. Throughout the game, players battle Norse mythological foes with more enemy types than in the previous game. In addition to enemies found in the previous game, some newer enemy types include Yenhiars, Wyverns, Stalkers, Phantoms, Human Raiders, and Nokins, among many others. The developers also added more mini-bosses to give the game more diversity. A new mechanic for Ragnarok is that the blades can also be used as the grappling hook to traverse over chasms. They can also be used to pick up and hurl objects at enemies. Kratos also obtains a new weapon called Draupnir Spear, a close and long-range attack spear that is infused with wind elemental magic and can make copies of itself. For example, Kratos can throw multiple spears at an enemy, then have them all explode at once. Each weapon has standard light and heavy attacks. They can be upgraded with runes to allow for magical runic attacks with slots for a light and heavy magical attack, providing players with a variety of options for their own playstyle. The triangle button on the controller was also changed for Ragnarok. In the previous game, the button was only used to summon Kratos' axe back to his hand, but if he already had the axe, nothing happened. Now, the button additionally allows the player to use weapon signature moves to unleash a powerful magical attack depending on the weapon equipped. If on a higher ledge, the player can leap down to perform a powerful weapon attack on enemies below. In the previous game, the shield was only used for blocking and could perform a minor parry attack. For Ragnarok, the shield was revamped for more versatility. There are different shields that can be obtained. They can be used offensively or defensively depending on which shield is equipped. Smaller shields are more for parrying while larger ones are more defensive. For example, the Dauntless shield has a parry attack that when triggered correctly, Kratos smashes the shield into a foe that tosses and stuns the enemy. Similarly, the Stone Wall shield is more defensive based. Guarding the Stone Wall shield raises its kinetic energy, and once it's fully charged, the player can slam the shield into the ground, emitting a large wave of energy that knocks enemies back. Other shields with different abilities can be acquired throughout the game. When not in use, the shield folds up and appears like a vambrace on Kratos' left forearm. Kratos' Spartan Rage ability was also updated. There are now 3 variants: Fury, Valor, and Wrath. Fury is the standard mode for Spartan Rage and is identical to the previous game, in which Kratos uses barehanded attacks to greatly damage his enemies. Valor consumes rage energy to restore health and it also can be used as a parry if activated at the right time, while Wrath unleashes a powerful weapon attack depending on what weapon is equipped. So guys, I think that all of these 3 abilities can be used in their own special way and have really important significance in different situations. For example, I think that Fury can be used best when fighting just regular enemies. I think that Valor is best used for people with defensive playstyles and don't utilize Kratos' offensive playstyle as much. Like, for example, they have defense all the way up and vitality all the way up as well, and have a strong shield that really focuses on defense. Like I said, an overall well-rounded defensive playstyle. And I think that Wrath is best for mini bosses and boss fights so that you could take out a nice large chunk of the boss's health. And there was this one time where there was this mini boss, right, that he was about to do an unblockable and I was on critical health. And me thinking that I was on Fury, I was actually on Valor, so I just died anyway because I was using it. And while he was like in the animation, I just got hit and he plopped right to the floor. I got really mad at it because I was like about to kill him as well. I was like, oh my god, I was literally about to use Spartan Rage myself in real life. Atreus' combat was updated to reflect his character growth. In the previous game, Atreus was watching Kratos and learning how to fight, while in this game, Atreus has matured. He has longer chain combos and may initiate a fight before Kratos, and his magical abilities were expanded. There are also points in the game where another character will accompany Kratos instead of Atreus, and they too can be passively controlled. For the first time in the series, the player can play entirely as a character other than Kratos. This only occurs during some story missions when Atreus goes off on his own without Kratos and the player takes full control of Atreus. His gameplay is similar to Kratos. He has close-range combat by hitting enemies with his bow, and he has a long-range attacks by using his bow to shoot arrows. Additionally, he has a special magical arrow that can create shield from magic and can summon magical spectral animals to assist him in combat. Atreus also has his own rage ability in which he transforms into a wolf and later a bear to deal greater damage. During these missions, Atreus typically has another character accompanying him, and the player can passively control this character just as they do with Atreus when playing as Kratos. For some missions, Atreus has a magical floating sword called Ingrid when helping Odin in Asgard with the mask that replaces the accompanying character. The game begins as Fimbulwinter nears its end. Kratos and Atreus return home from a hunting trip, fending off an ambush from a vengeful Freya, only to find their wolf Fenrir in his final moments. After Fenrir dies, Atreus' grief transforms him into a bear, though his still uncontrolled giant magic, briefly battling his father before coming back to his senses. Shortly after, Thor arrives at their home, fulfilling a vision Atreus had at the end of the previous game, and is joined by Odin, who proposes to leave Kratos' family alone if Atreus abandons his search for Tyr. Kratos refuses and duels Thor to a stalemate, but Odin tells Atreus he will leave Kratos alone if the former comes to Asgard. With the aid of the Holdra brothers, Kratos, Atreus, and Mimir take refuge in Sindri's home on the branches of the world tree Yggdrasil in the realm between realms. Atreus admits that he and Sindri have been secretly re-examining the giant shrines scattered throughout Midgard, searching for clues about Tyr's whereabouts. Determining Tyr is alive and imprisoned in Svartalfheim, Kratos reluctantly agrees to help Atreus, if only to prevent Ragnarok, and they travel to the Dwarven realm where they rescue the traumatized Tyr. The group then head to Alfheim, visiting Gror's shrine to better understand the prophecies concerning Ragnarok. Fighting against both elves and Tyr's newfound pacifism, they learn of an alternative prophecy to Ragnarok, one in which only Asgard is destroyed while all other realms survive under a new champion implied to be Atreus using his alternative giant name of Loki. Returning home, Kratos and Atreus have a falling out over the latter's supposed destiny. That night, Atreus awakens in Jotunheim with the giant Angrboda, who shows him a mural that seemingly foretells Kratos' death in Ragnarok and Atreus joining Odin. Atreus also learns that the giants transferred their souls into spiritual stones to evade Odin's wrath. After helping stop Angrboda's grandmother Gryla from stealing animal souls, Atreus is entrusted with the remaining spirit stones, using one to put a giant soul into the body of a snake. Atreus returns to Midgard, where Kratos angrily informs him that he has been missing for 2 days, but they are again attacked by Freya with her Valkyrie powers restored.
2 days. Do not lie to me again.
However, Freya relents when Kratos shields her from Atreus and agrees to spare Kratos if he helps her break the curse binding her to Midgard. Taking the form of a falcon to circumvent Odin's spell, Freya travels with Kratos and Mimir to Vanaheim, where her estranged brother Freyr leads a resistance against Odin. As they travel, Kratos opens up to Freya about the deaths of his family in Greece and the emptiness of revenge. After killing Nihog and breaking the curse, Freya admits that she can never forgive Kratos for killing her son, nor kill him in return, and the two make amends. Back at Sindri's house, Kratos and Atreus have another argument regarding his recent deceitful behavior. Shame on you, Atreus, shame on you. Ending in Atreus fleeing to Asgard to find a way to prevent his father's death. Atreus has a hostile encounter with Heimdall but is saved by Thor and Odin. Later, Odin requests his help in preventing Ragnarok by reassembling an ancient mask that can supposedly look into the rift between worlds and grant infinite knowledge. While searching for mask pieces in Helheim with Thor's daughter Thrud, Atreus accidentally releases the giant wolf Garm, who begins tearing holes into the realms, allowing Hellwalkers to wreak havoc. Atreus reunites with Kratos as they both attempt to stop Garm. During the fight, Atreus realizes he accidentally bound Fenrir's soul into his knife when the wolf died and resurrects Fenrir by infusing his soul into Garm. Now reconciled, Kratos and Atreus return to the refuge where Atreus shares his knowledge of Odin's mask with the rest of the group, but the discussion is tabled when they learn that Freyr was captured by the Aesir. Kratos, Atreus, Mimir, and Freya return to Vanaheim to rescue Freyr, during which Kratos is forced to kill Heimdall and claims Galahorn, inevitably setting Ragnarok in motion.
Hey, I'm Atreus. You okay? Hi. No, just hold on.
While Freyr recovers, Kratos reluctantly allows Atreus to infiltrate Asgard and finish reassembling the mask in order to steal it from Odin. Though Thor nearly kills him, Atreus is successful and escapes back to the refuge. Atreus gives the mask to Tyr, who suddenly agrees to fight and reveals how he knows of a secret way to Asgard. Brock, suspicious of Tyr's sudden change of heart, suddenly realizes Tyr is calling Atreus Loki, prompting Tyr to fatally stab Brock, revealing he had been Odin in disguise the whole time. The group drive Odin away and retrieve the mask, but a grief-stricken Sindri blames Atreus for Brock's death and abandons the group to mourn. Atreus and Kratos commit to Ragnarok, entering Muspelheim to help Surtur retrieve a destined primordial form that will destroy Asgard. Under Kratos' leadership, the united forces of the other realms gather at Tyr's temple in Midgard. Kratos sounds the Galahorn, opening all realm travel to begin the siege of Asgard. Initially, the battle does not go well. The other realms are quickly cut off. The elves and Vanir struggle with Asgard's defenses. Sindri comes alone so no more dwarves will die, and the army is forced to rescue innocent Midgardian refugees from the uncontrollable Surtur. However, the tide turns when Angrboda arrives with Fenrir and the snake Atreus previously slaved, now fully grown into Jormungandr the World Serpent, who occupies Thor while Sindri destroys Asgard's war machine and protective wall. Thrud and her mother Sif then defect after discovering Odin used the refugees as living shields. Thor knocks Jormungandr back in time with Mjolnir and engages Kratos in battle once again, but he is convinced to stand down only to be killed by Odin for disobeying. Odin then engages Kratos, Atreus, Freya, and Mimir, and the group overpower and defeat him. Yeah guys, cause I'm gonna be honest with you, those combos at the end with the quick time events, those are lethal. He was getting that Baldur treatment if you know what I mean. Anyways, Atreus shatters the mask and traps the unrepentant Odin's soul in a spiritual stone, but a vengeful Sindri smashes it to kill the Allfather. As Surtur destroys Asgard, Freyr sacrifices himself to ensure everyone escapes through a rift made by Angrboda and Fenrir. After the siege, Atreus reunites with Angrboda in Midgard, who shows him and Kratos a mural his mother Faye had deliberately destroyed so that they could determine their own fate. Atreus resolves to join Angrboda in her quest to find more giants and bids a heartfelt farewell to his father. Looking further into the shrine, Kratos discovers a mural depicting him as the new Allfather of the Nine Realms, beloved by others. Finally hopeful about his future, Kratos recruits Freya and Mimir to help rebuild and restore peace. Asgard's Yenhyar are cleared out and Freya kills the vengeful Valkyrie Queen Gná to reclaim her title. The Aesir relocates to Vanaheim and finally achieve peace with the Vanir. Thrud begins wielding Mjolnir in honor of her father, and the real Tyr is discovered and freed in Niflheim. In the game's secret ending, Kratos, Freya, Mimir, and Sindri attend a funeral for Brock in Svartalfheim. So guys, I bet you're wondering, what do I think about this game? I think this game is really, really good. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Well, not good, amazing, like awesome. Like one of the best story mode games I've ever played. Like personally, this game made the game of the year for me. Like I know it has some competition with Elden Ring, but for me personally, this game made the game of the year for me. Let me know what you guys think down below. I really love how the new mechanics added really played into the story because with the puzzles and stuff. I mean, the Leviathan Axe and the water puzzles, like the water tunnels, and really had my gears rolling, you know, like it was really like, it was that those puzzles weren't even that bad this game. I mean, before, I feel like God of War 4, it had more, God of War 2018, it had more puzzles than this one, which I find really strange. I mean, let me know down below. But yeah, guys, so unfortunately, that wraps it up for this one. Let me know down below what you think about this game, and what are your thoughts, and like, did it make your game of the year? So I'm gonna go get the platinum for this game, the platinum trophy, because only good like games that I really, really enjoyed and I give a 10 out of 10 in every aspect, I get the platinum trophy for. So I'm gonna go get the platinum trophy, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out and have a wonderful day or night.